This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Alabama man faces jail time for not apologizing to a police officer. In case you missed that, let me just say it again. An Alabama man faces jail time for not saying he's sorry to a police officer.
Welcome back to the Junkyard News. And have I got a story for you today? I have a new hero. That's right. The Junkyard News has a new hero for the day. And in this video segment, Freedom or Jail, a stand for the First Amendment, we are going to be discussing a court case in which a judge is willing to give a man 30 days in jail if he does not apologize to a police officer in violation of his First Amendment right, just for telling the cop to get his ass out of his way so he could leave after the traffic stop was over. That's right. So in this video, we are going to explore the boundaries of freedom and justice. Today, we have an incredible story about one man's unwavering commitment to his First Amendment rights, and let's dive in. An Alabama man says he's willing to serve 30 days in jail rather than apologize to a police officer, as ordered by a municipal judge after being accused of disrespecting the officer during a traffic stop. I'd like you to meet Reginald Burks. Now, Mr. Burks was driving his kids to school when he was going 3 miles per hour over the posted limit and was pulled over by a police officer, a traffic officer, and issued a ticket for going 3 miles over the speed limit. Well, Mr. Burke, who was in a hurry to get his kids to school on time, gave his license and insurance to the police officer as instructed, and when the traffic stop was over, the officer, according to Mr. Burks, was still standing at the conclusion of the stop in front of his side mirror, preventing Mr. Burke from driving off. Mr. Burke explained to the officer he's trying to get his kids to school on time, but the officer would not move, and if Mr. Burke drove forward to leave the stop after it was over, his side mirror would have struck the officer, and we know how that would end. Well, we can't have that, so Mr. Burke was literally forced to stand there while this officer, who was, I guess, butthurt over Mr. Burke's words, wouldn't get out of the way so he could drive off from the stop when it was over. And it is claimed that Mr. Burke looked at the officer and said, "Get your ass out of the way so I could leave and get my kids to school. You've already made them late." Now, when Mr. Burke appeared in court and took his ticket, and he said, "Okay, I'll pay it," the judge said $200, and Mr. Burke paid the $200. But this blue line backing judge decided that he didn't like Mr. Burke's freedom of speech and told Mr. Burke that in addition to paying his $200 fine for going 3 miles over the speed limit, he must write an apology to the officer for verbally disrespecting him when the traffic stop was over. I find that appalling. And now Mr. Burke says when they go back to court to show the judge that he paid the ticket, the judge is going to ask him, well, did you apologize to the officer, or did you write this apology letter that the court has ordered you to do? He claims he will not apologize. It's his First Amendment right, and he's willing to spend 30 days in jail to prove his point.
So you're really willing to go to jail for 30 days? You're willing to go to jail for 30 days?
Yes, for my rights, I go to jail for 60, 30 days, whatever they want me to do. As long as I can prove my point about we got rights. If we don't stand up for them, we won't never have them.
Burke's attorney, David Harrison, said that they plan to fight any jail sentence by filing federal lawsuits citing precedent that profane language towards police is protected speech under the Constitution. You see, Alabama is in the 11th Circuit, and the 11th Circuit has a ton of cases, lots of case law, specifically indicating that language like that towards a police officer is protected speech under the Constitution of the United States of America. Yet this judge, who must be biased in favor of police and against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and free speech, is demanding and has ordered Mr. Burke to apologize to the officer just for saying, "Get your ass out of the way so I can leave." That's not even that bad. But the officer took offense to it and must have noted that to the court. And we gotta teach this man a lesson. You disrespected me. So now he says He is willing to do 30 days in jail or whatever the judge orders him to serve, and he refuses to back down, and he refuses to kiss the boots of the thin blue line and apologize for exercising his free speech rights, his constitutional rights. How dare this judge even think of imposing jail time and ordering a man to give up his First Amendment? But we all know, in most cases, judges have what's called unfettered authority and absolute immunity in lawsuits. And it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Most likely, any sentence imposed on appeal will get reversed, I would hope. But do you really think there's going to be any sanctions or penalty against the judge? He'll just claim absolute immunity and laugh about it. But I find it despicable that a judge that is supposed to be unbiased, supposed to be a neutral party, would even think about locking a man up if he doesn't give up his First Amendment right, his free speech rights. Especially since what he said wasn't even that bad. He just told the officer to get his ass out of the way. It's not like he called him any really bad names in front of his kids he was trying to get to school. He used the word donkey. He used the word ass. In my opinion, this judge is the ass. Here's a news clip about the story. What do you think about a judge that's supposed to be unbiased and neutral, trying to force an individual to apologize to a police officer when all he did was use his free speech rights, his First Amendment right, to tell the officer to get out of his way so he can leave when the traffic stop was over? I don't know about you, but this infuriates me. How dare the judge put this type of stipulation in a court order over a man that went 3 miles over the speed limit? He paid his $200 fine, but you want to try to force him to give up his First Amendment or go to jail over something so trivial? All he did was say, get your ass out of my way. This is crazy. And I'm not going to hold my breath, but I really hope this judge somehow, some way gets sanctioned. It's just mind-boggling. It is just mind-boggling to me. This is just nuts. Well, leave a comment below what you think about a judge trying to overstep his bounds and make a man apologize after using his First Amendment right, his constitutionally protected right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks again for watching the Junkyard News. Be careful out there, because we may be covering a story about you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Reginald Burks paid a $200 ticket in municipal court for speeding, but the judge added something almost unheard of to the court order. Judge Nicholas Bull of Ozark, Alabama, the father of 2 kids, was ordered to write an apology letter to the police officer who ticketed him. If he doesn't, he's going to be jailed for 30 days. The issues, Reginald told the police officer to get his donkey self, didn't say donkey, but used another word for it, out of the way after writing the ticket so he could get his kids to school. He didn't use the word donkey, as you can see on the screen. Forget whether he has the right to do this for a second. Have you ever even heard, not just of this judge, but of any judge ordering something like this?
No, I have been practicing law 33 years, predominantly criminal defense. I've never heard of it. Not at all.
It's crazy. Are you sorry you yelled at him and said what you said?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. Yeah, I was pulled over. He wrote me a ticket. He stood at the car. He wouldn't move in front of my mirror on my car. And I kept asking him to move, and he wouldn't move. So I told him, eventually, I just told him, hey, man, get your ass out of the way, because I can go take my kids to school. They're already late because of you. And he just kept standing there. So I go to court, and all this stuff happened at court.
I think
So you're really willing to go to jail for 30 days? You're willing to go to jail for 30 days?
Yes, for my rights. I go to jail for 60, 30 days, whatever they want me to do. As long as I can prove my point about we got rights. If we don't stand up for them, we won't never have them.
Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.